Hey YouTube, it's Trey. I know it's been a while, but one of the things that has happened out here is, well, let's just say this. When it rains in the Philippines, it pours. So the last month has been kind of crazy. If you know anything about what's going on, there's been a couple of typhoons, there's been earthquakes, and pretty major ones for that matter. Um, you know, Here I am. I'm trying to prep everything, getting ready for my daughter to come visit me in less than 2 weeks, and I've done some things and just figured I'd tell you what's been going on. One of the things that people were kind of laughing at me a little bit. They were telling me that why are you buying backup batteries and solar panels and things like that? Well, I was fortunately, I was in the military, and I was in the subfleet for that matter, and we always had backups to everything, just in case something went down. And I had bought a couple of solar panels, and I bought a couple of backup batteries that I could recharge with the solar panels and things of that nature. And, the first thing that happened that I guess was really that set everything off in motion, that kind of gave me that downward spiral for the last month and a half, that just seems to not stop, is we had this major earthquake, and it was like 5 miles from my house from the epicenter. So it was like 6.8 or 6.9, something like that. The whole house was shaking, the ground was shaking. It was the craziest thing. I was sitting on my porch, it was late at night, and I mean, physically, I felt everything move, and it didn't stop. It felt like it went on forever, guys. It was crazy, but luckily for me, I have a strong house, so made out of cement block and everything else like that. But you know what? To me, it looked like things were moving, and I was like, "Holy cow, guys!" It was crazy. But the power did go out, and we did lose power here, and we all stayed outside. And with the aftershocks, we're pretty good size aftershocks, and I actually have it on video when it actually happened. It's kind of the craziest thing. I may do a video, but I was kind of putting that off because my daughter's coming, and I really didn't want to scare her, so I didn't put that out there on video. But we were out of power. But I did have these backup batteries here, and I had some UPS uninterrupted power sources for my internet connection. So things still worked, and we still had lights because of that. So that was a good thing. You know, After that, we kept having these aftershocks, and they were pretty severe. Well, you move forward, and then all of a sudden there's a typhoon, and then a typhoon actually hit right here where I'm at. And you know what? Wasn't that bad. I lived in Florida, kind of used to the hurricane, typhoon, whatever you want to call them, and they're okay. It is what it is. But again, stronger house, made out of cement block, not like some of the other homes that are out here. So I felt pretty comfortable with the situation. Not to mention, I have backup power. I had solar panels, and good thing I did, because I was without a power the longest here on the island of Leyte. For some reason, where I live, I guess it was one of the hardest hit places, because a lot of trees came down, knocked out power lines. They were working on things. Internet was out for a week, things of that nature. And so when those things happened, I actually was able to keep my house going off of my backup batteries and my solar panels, and I have another battery that I left inside, but so I have 3 of them, and so I was able to keep my refrigerator cold, my meat, thank goodness, because if you know that you put meat and stuff like that in the freezer, and you store it and you freeze it, there's hundreds of dollars worth of meat in there, and well, that would have been a huge problem to lose that much food. Because I like to buy and stock up, so I have it. I'm living out in the province right now, so going to town, it takes an hour to get there, maybe longer, depending on time of day and traffic and things like that. But there was so much going on that I put all these things into place, and thank goodness I did. Really, it was a blessing in disguise. And everybody else is like, why are you doing that? You're wasting your money, blah blah blah. It's just a brownout here and there. Yep. Well, the brownout here and there led to I still got internet. I still had power. My food didn't go bad. I was able to charge my devices. I was able to watch some TV. Um, I was able to cook still. I was able to keep everything going. And everybody around, they saw I had lights on at night when nobody else did. And, you know, maybe that makes a target. But at the same time, you know what? Those lights help. When you're trying to go to the bathroom or the CR here in the Philippines, that's kind of a big deal, right? So, the things that you do and you prep out here for your lifestyle and try to keep your house maintained, the things that I do always have a purpose and always has a reason. And I'm glad I did those things. Second topic, guys, just letting you know, obviously, my daughter's coming in from the States. She's flying in from Florida. I'm going to go over and pick her up in Cebu at the airport in less than 2 weeks, and I'm pretty excited. I'm really, really excited about that. So we're going to go down, and I'm going to take her out there to Oslob so we can swim with the whale sharks. Obviously, I've done it already. But I want her to experience it, and she wants to experience it too. So we're going to go down there. We're going to spend some time over in Cebu City, a couple of days, because she wants to go and see the Christmas lights over at the mall. Not really sure why, but she's a big time into Christmas, and obviously she's coming to see her dad, and she loves Christmas lights. And she is an autistic child, high functioning, but she still is autistic. So a lot of things, mean more to her, are a bigger deal to her than maybe it would be to maybe a normal person or something. But other than that, we're going to come back over here. We're going to go out there to Kalungaman Island. We're going to go swimming and snorkeling. She's been excited, telling everybody back home that she's coming to the Philippines. She's going to go scuba diving with the whale sharks. She actually got a couple of scuba diving things going on. And this is not her first time. She's been scuba diving before. So yeah, these things are pretty important to her. And then we're going to go check out some other stuff and beaches and hang out for a few weeks and spend, our time together. It's good because for me, it's been a year and a half since I seen her last time. So, I'm really, really excited about it, and I'm looking forward to it. Other than that, guys, between typhoons and earthquakes and prepping and stuff for my daughter to come, which funny and oddly enough, I got a hot water heater for the shower because, here in the Philippines, hot water is not common. So, but she needed that because the last time she came over here, which was, a few years ago, when her and I came for a visit, checking the place out, they didn't have hot water in the shower, and she froze, and she's like, oh no, I can't do that. Well, I made sure that she's got hot water in the shower. It only cost me about $100, about 6,000 pesos, a little less, whatever it was. But you know what? Those little creature comforts to help her and do that thing. Now, the things that she wants to do while she's here, she wants some Filipino food. She's actually pretty excited about that. She wants to learn how to make lumpia, and she's looking forward to a whole bunch of different things there. So, I'm getting everything squared away. I do apologize to everybody that I haven't been back on here. But realistically, like I said, I wasn't trying, because my daughter watches my videos. I didn't want to scare her, for one. And two, obviously there's a lot been going on. I mean, when it rains, it pours, right? So between all those things, I had other things that went down. Like, for some reason, my MacBook Pro blew up or had a power surge or something, and it blew the audio card, which shut it down. I couldn't get it restarted, and I tried everything. But I ended up taking it to a computer guy in the city of Ormoc. Great guy. He fixed my computer and changed out the audio card and diagnosed it, cleaned everything up. And what I should tell you guys is that when I did that, oddly enough, it only cost me like 45 bucks, $50 US, to get it looked at, cleaned up, and fixed with the part. Uh, if you know anything about back in the state side about like Apple products or computers or repair, you're going to spend a fortune. I mean, what I paid to have it all that done and fixed won't even cover half of what it takes just to diagnose for someone to look at it. And that's just crazy. But I figured you guys would want to know that. That's just because that actually also stopped me from doing some of my videos too, because I couldn't get my computer fixed. Now, did it take a week and a half to get it fixed from start to finish? Yeah, slow process is what it is. But it wasn't just that. I also had a PlayStation that I have, and it did the same thing. So I'm thinking maybe when we had the power surge from the typhoon or whatever it was, maybe there was a power surge and it zapped a couple of my electronics. So obviously, surge protectors are really, really important. And I think that if you're going to have sensitive electronics and stuff like that, do that, because lesson learned. I did. I plugged in my stuff to the regular wall. Didn't even think about it. Not stuff I use every day on the regular. So I definitely learned a valuable lesson there. But hey, man, if you guys understand being prepared, if you're going to live out here, things are different. It's not like the States. You're adapting and you're overcoming everything. And always have a backup plan. Everything. I don't care if it's from transferring money over to backup power to anything in general. Always have a backup plan. It's better to be safe than sorry. But look, anyways, it's great. I figured I would say hi to you guys, get another video put out there. I apologize, profusely about me not putting out a video, but I am alive. There are things going on. Obviously, I'm prepping for everything else, and I hope that I can get some more videos out to you. And we'll see how things go. I'm thinking about doing some other stuff. So, till next time, guys. Peace.